But I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile.
Bob Catter there, expressing the frustration I think we've all felt trying to cross the Nile in Assassin's Creed Origins.
You're watching GB24, now a summary of today's headlines. EA announces the relocation of their corporate headquarters to the penthouse at the Bellagio.
I got a great deal on the Super Mario Odyssey edition of the Nintendo Switch.
Disney has announced that they're shutting down the servers for Marvel Heroes a mere 5 months after the console launch. Tributes are flowing in for all 37 players. Now, for more on the Marvel Heroes shutdown, we're getting word from Disney that the development team is actually being absorbed into other parts of the company. What? No, they've all been fired without pay a day before Thanksgiving. Well, tough break for the families of those developers, eh, Josh?
Yes. Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
And we're out.
Sorry about that.
Mate, you got it.
I did.
Got the old Switch.
Got the new Switch.
Yeah, that's true.
Brand new Switch, the Super Mario Odyssey edition with the red Joy-Cons, the Mario red Joy-Cons.
Very nice, very nice. How much scratch was that?
Got a really good deal actually, thanks to Dylan at Harvey Norman who price matched with Big W. So anyway,
thank you, Dylan.
Yeah, console and Mario for $400. So very happy with that.
That's good.
Yeah, really happy.
Yeah, that's great.
But then you kind of forget all the accessories and shit. Like normally.
Oh, so you went and then got.
Well, no, I needed to get a case. So I was like $25, and then I've been looking at getting tempered glass and stuff. So there's all these extras that you kind of forget about when, normally you buy a console like a normal console. It's just like,
and
oh,
that's
cool.
It. You get it, you start playing it.
Yeah,
so
and
then
maybe
you went out
you want another controller or something.
Yeah.
But this is my first proper handheld, I think, since the Game Boy, really.
The Game Boy.
What did we had game? It was the original Game Boy.
We had the original Game Boy, the
black,
the brick,
yeah,
the grey brick with Tetris that came in the original box.
Yeah.
Then we got the mini.
It was the mini.
We've got a blue mini.
No, it was black. 100% was black.
Oh yeah, it was black. Yeah,
Mum would not get a coloured thing.
Like nice slim-line black with nothing going on. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that, and then and then we got the Super Game Boy, which you plugged.
Yeah, that's not portable.
No, okay, that's not portable, but it's still
that was
a
great.
Game Boy.
Actually, that is the precursor to the Switch.
Actually,
you're absolutely right.
So yeah, the Super Game Boy, you put it into the SNES, and then you put your Game Boy games in that. And that
played on the big screen.
So really, they're just it is the old
boring
Switch.
Nintendo,
Yeah.
boring.
Come up with something new.
Yeah. No, it's been pretty cool. So I've got the dock set up at home.
Yeah.
And it looks great on the dock, but it is as straightforward as you literally just slot it in.
So what is the difference in sort of the screen from watching it on the TV to then going to handheld? Is there any degradation?
It looks a little bit more pixelated in the hands. I think that's also depends on the TV and stuff you use as well. But no, it looks like Mario's the only game I've got and I've played, but it looks great on the big screen. It's all really smooth. Nintendo, just their art style is so good for their games. It just looks great. And
it's so good, Nintendo. They just really come back.
Knocked it out of the park.
Oh, they really have. Well, they actually needed to because the Mii that they had before.
The Wii.
No. That was the Wii, then the U.
The Wii, then.
The Wii U? The Wii U?
Yes, the Wii U.
Yeah, it was the Wii U. It was the Wii and then the Wii U, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, we knew.
We knew about the Wii U, mate. Because I remember the Wii was massive.
Yeah.
That was huge with Wii Sports and everything like that.
Or just casual people. Like, I remember that Christmas. Yeah. Well, it was like 2 Christmases. Everyone was just people who didn't have any interest in video games. Like, oh, you can shake a thing. Great, get it for my kids.
Yeah. But it became just that. I remember all the marketing was like the dad playing it with the kids and everything like that. And people that had never really played games before were all over it. And that went insane. And so Nintendo was riding high.
But the thing is, like, we kind of never had a great interest in getting it, but Mum and Dad got it for us for Christmas because it's like, that's the present to get.
Yeah, that was what everyone was getting. Yeah. And then I remember the Wii U, when that came out, the biggest problem with that was the marketing for it, people didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
People thought, oh, is that just a new is it just a new controller for the Wii, or is it just a new add-on? No one actually realized this is the new thing.
Especially for the consumers who'd bought the Wii, who were the casual people. They don't like people
anything
who
like
have
that.
an interest in games. They knew, they understood.
They didn't know any about that, and so as a result, it took a massive nosedive.
Part of the problem that Nintendo didn't know what the Wii U was.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, yeah, because it was this thing of crossing the line. Like, it was the sort of, again, the precursor to this of, oh, and then you've got the tablet mode and you can hold it in your hands and play it. So if someone's playing something on the TV, you can just take it with you and it's got the range to the console.
So I think it took them a console to figure out exactly what they needed to do with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it took them that. It took them the Wii U in the middle to go, okay, we're trying to do something here. We've got this sort of idea, and then obviously they really nailed it with this.
Well, the portable stuff's always been so popular for them. Like they've just absolutely dominated that market.
Well, the 3D. Well, I wonder if are they still going to? The 3DS is obviously massive.
Yeah.
So are they going to still? Because this is basically just a better version of that.
Yeah, so I think they're going to continue. I think surprisingly, they're going to continue developing some games just for 3DS for a while, because most companies would be like, hey, this is the new thing, get on the new thing.
Yeah.
Because the big weird thing with the Switch is that these games, you know, there's an expectation that you might be playing them on your couch, on your TV, or they're portable. Whereas like with 3DS, it's like, oh, it's a portable thing. So that's how everything's designed. So I think they're going to support it for a little bit longer, the 3DS and stuff, because it's just, the install base on that is huge. Like, there's no reason.
So many people have it.
There's not a huge reason to sort of depart from that. Given how successful it's been, I think they'd be in more trouble if the Switch hadn't sold as well.
And then they would have to toss up: do we just go on the Switch, or do we have to keep? We've got this massive user base for the 3DS, so let's keep doing that. So now, you could get away with
because if the Switch didn't sell well, they'd be like, maybe if we stop supporting 3DS, we can go, hey guys, maybe get the
everyone.
Switch. But because it's sold so well, maybe they're more comfortable. Go, oh, let's still support the 3DS because so many people have it.
Good plan.
And, you know,
good plan, Nintendo.
That's what
Great.
Reggie's thinking.
Keep it going, Nintendo.
One of the big reasons I haven't bought a handheld for ages is that I don't really have a commute, and now I've got a job I've got at the moment. I actually have a commute on the tram, so I was like convinced myself to be like, you've got. Mind you, this job is finishing at Christmas, so I'm I've got to commute for another month. Yeah, it's great. But today was only the first day I've been able to play it on the tram, because the other days I hadn't got a seat, and I was like, fuck, damn it, I really want to get a seat on the tram. But it's been cool. The startup is crazy. So the boot up, it goes into sleep mode. You're like literally 5 seconds when you boot it up, you can be playing exactly where you left off. So there's not, load up Mario or anything like that. It's like, dun, you're back into it.
I was just flew back from overseas.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm in the plane, and I just look over, and the guy just gets out his Switch, and he just starts playing. And then, so I spent ages just sort of leaning over his shoulder, going, oh, he's got a Korok seed there. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he's doing that. And he plugged it in up there, so there was no problem with battery life or anything
I'm
like
really
that.
looking forward
to it.
And
that was fine.
I'm looking forward to my next trip away, because it's going to be perfect for that. It's great. But one thing I have found, it's kind of quite heavy in the hands, and I'm just,
heavy in the hands.
Heavy in the hands.
Two in the bush.
But like, you could use the kickstand and stuff, because it's got all the permutations on this is how you use it, and hey, isn't it cool to take to a party and you can set it up on the kickstand with your friends, so you like kick it out.
Oh yeah. What about the size of the controllers? Because I like looking at it, I was always like, the actual Joy-Cons seem really small.
Yeah.
And even with the buttons seem.
It's not too bad holding it normally, but when you go to the single where you detach them and you like two people playing, that's pretty crap.
Yeah.
Like, they're just really, really small. For small, nimble children hands, I think.
Yeah, not giant.
Fat thumbs.
So probably the biggest thing is, the biggest thing that's helped the Switch, really, the games.
Yes.
The game. If you look at the two games,
the first party games,
the
first party games only.
Amazing that the two games, that they're big sort of, what is it, Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, both up for Game of the Year, both amazing.
It's nuts to have
two games of that caliber, basically at launch almost.
Yeah.
And that's been such a massive. Because you heard the whole thing about Breath of the Wild. More copies of Breath of the Wild were sold than Switches.
Yeah.
So people had Breath of the Wild going, this game's amazing.
Yeah.
Now I've just got to wait for a Switch to come in so I can play
bizarre.
it. Yeah,
the attach rate of Zelda was higher than the actual console,
which is crazy.
So people, I think they went and they were sold out. So I'll get Zelda because I want to have it.
Let's get Zelda.
But yeah, to have the two of their biggest franchises and out in the same year and so close to each other. Because I still do have Breath of the Wild on my Wii U, because I didn't have this. And I was like, I can get it on the Wii U and I'm sure it'll be fine. And I enjoyed it immensely. Like, it's an amazing game.
Yeah.
And I don't feel I lost anything by not playing it on this. But yeah, having Mario come out that is why I bought this.
For Mario.
Like, it seemed that good. I was like, oh yeah, I could kind of
for Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Doing it for Mario.
Do it for Mario.
The old Italian plumber. But I've seen a lot of similarities in the design between the two. Like, I've found, and I don't know how closely the teams worked, if at all, but there's this great sense of Zelda was always like, if you saw something that looked interesting, you go check it out, and there was a reward. There was whatever it was a Korok seed, it was something, and you go, oh, there's this cool little thing that I found, that was great. In Mario as well, I feel there's just stuff everywhere, like there's something of interest, or you go somewhere and go, oh, maybe there's something behind this. I'm like, yeah, there's some coins. Like, it's just this great feeling of everywhere you go and do, there's probably going to be something there to reward you. Like, it doesn't feel like there's stuff just filled out.
It feels like the evolution of what sort of Mario 64 was like when you played that. It was exploring these. I just remember it was a world. You got there and there was like 6 different stars, and you had to figure out how to get each one of them. And you looked everywhere, and this really feels sort of
like
that.
60 different stars
now.
Yeah,
60 stars.
Or moons as well. They're moons.
Oh man, I've
the thing I really like that's been really enjoyable compared to a lot of other open world games, that it's not, you don't just follow icons on the map. Like, there's no mini map or anything. So
is there no mini map?
No, you don't need it in Mario.
Actually, is there any in Mario? No, there's not.
There's like a compass.
Because it's mainly linear.
But like that idea that you're not just looking from thing to thing. Like, you can bring up the map and it shows you where you've gathered things. But I love the idea of just looking at the screen and using my eyes. Like, that's the most important thing to do.
Use your eyes.
Yes, when you're viewing the video game, use your eyes and your ears. And the HD rumble as well. There's been a few of that.
Does it come in with the rumble?
Yeah, it's HD rumble is the name for it. I had not played a game that utilises it. Apparently, you can feel like there was one in the 1-2 Switch where it was like.
Did it come with 1-2?
No, there was no pack in. So
I played a bit of that, and it's so like there are things that you meant to do. Like, there's one where you put it on the table, and it's like a phone ringing, and you're playing against someone, and the phone rings, and you grab it and pick it up. Got to the point, all you have to do is you just kick the table. So we were playing it, and I was trying to I was like, okay, I've got to grab it. And this guy was just going bang with his foot, and he was winning every game. And I'm like, what the fuck are you winning? It's ridiculous.
That's, yeah, sure. If you want to win 1-2 Switch, mate, good on you. You did it. Really good
ridiculous.
job.
I think what's awesome about Nintendo as well is you grow up with Nintendo, and they do nostalgia really well. Like, it's not just sort of fan service or anything like that. Like, there'll be little things in it that's like...
There's the rings, like one of the collector things like that are in the air and you like jump through them or whatever. It's the noise of running through the tape in Super Mario World. And it's weird. And it's just been tweaked enough that it sounds really new. And I was like, oh yeah, it's great. Because it's really funny because there's this idea of like Nintendo being designed for kids and made for kids and that kind of thing. But I'm like, it's just a really nice, fun, happy game. And I'll forever remember the first moment when I heard Mario ribbiting like a frog. It's like this Italian plumber going, leave it. Like,
well, all the pictures I've seen from it is just
stuff with mustaches.
With things. And so just that concept alone is amazing.
And that opens up the gameplay as well. But like on the whole, it's just a great, like, it's a fun world to be in and run around in and like.
Really cool. And there is something, I don't know. There is something about Nintendo that Nintendo has that I feel like Xbox and PlayStation doesn't have. Maybe it's just...
yeah, you're right. There's like this identity to it.
Yeah, and I feel... And maybe that's because we've played Nintendo and we've got a lot of connections with Nintendo when we were really young.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't... We didn't get a PlayStation or an Xbox until we were sort of much older and stuff like that.
True.
And that is that nature of, and you play your COD and everything like that.
Yeah, because the first party Nintendo games have real identity to them, but like, you see like PlayStation and Xbox are more like, hey, you gamers? We love gamers.
Hey,
how cool are gamers?
Hey, it's for the players.
We play games. And I think that's probably because you want to appeal as broad an audience as you can.
Yeah.
So they've got genres and different kinds of games for everyone, as opposed to Nintendo that, well, their first party stuff anyway is just so, it's just great. It's Japanese, they know how to make games.
All right, we're coming back from the break. All right, back in 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're back on GB24. That was quite a long break.
Now it's time for a short break.